It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
This right here is car con carne out of the car in a home. This is Casa con carne. Today, Car Con Carne is sponsored by Easy Automation. Are you looking to transform your home, office, or business into a smart, seamlessly connected space? Easy Automation is a local business. They're over in Aurora, a bucolic, lovely suburb, and Easy Automation delivers custom automation solutions that are tailored to your lifestyle. Whether you're upgrading your home entertainment, streamlining your office tech, or enhancing the atmosphere in your restaurant or sports bar, they've got you covered. Their expert team designs and installs personalized systems from smart lighting and climate control to audio-video distribution and robust Wi-Fi networks, all managed through an intuitive app on your favorite device. Easy Automation makes technology work for you effortlessly, reliably, and always with your satisfaction guaranteed. Visit easy-automation.net or call my guy Dan. This is his phone number. This will ring him directly, 630-730-3728, and take control of your environment today. Car Con Carne also sponsored by Exploding House Printing. They are here for all your screen printing, embroidery, and other merch needs. They're also local. In fact, they're much closer to where we are right now in Hermosa. And you should think about them for t-shirts, merch, whatever. If you're in a band, if you have a brand, these are your people. This is your team. Their focus is on small businesses, bands, brands, everything in between. Jonathan at Exploding House has been doing screen printing for decades, so he knows what he's doing. Besides his technical expertise, he delivers production efficiency and cost awareness to offer boutique print shop quality at much lower large print shop prices. Check him out on Instagram at Exploding House, or check out their site at explodinghouseprinting.com for a quote, or to see a list of some of their clients, which includes the Brokedowns, Meatwave, Empty Bottle, The Music Box, Dante's Pizzeria, and so many more. Email info@explodinghouseprinting.com for a quote today. Yes, we are in a house. It is a studio. It's a house. It's a studio and a house. My guest, Broken Robots, a band with a backstory. There's a story there of struggle and self-destruction, addiction, and redemption. The thing is, we've talked about that story before. We've covered it in previous episodes. So for this episode, I'm visiting with Broken Robots in their home studio to talk about where things stand in 2025. Specifically, the best work they've done yet, the new album, The Great American Struggle, which is out on September 12th. I'm joined by Tony, Kat, Alex, Anthony, and Ari. It is a full house. This screen is packed. If you had another member, if you had a saxophonist, they couldn't be on screen right now because we are out of room here in the Broken Robots studio. Hi, everybody.
Hi. How you doing?
Hey. So I guess let's start. I mentioned it. Let's see the album. The album's here.
Yeah.
This is reality. Check this out. The
And
Great
that is
American
yours.
Struggle.
That is yours.
This is mine. Oh, I'm so excited to have this. How excited are you to have this on vinyl?
Unbelievably. It's a whole bucket list thing for me personally.
As an artist, that's having this thing that people can have and hold and
tangible. Yes.
Yes.
Artwork is beautiful. Everything about it. We're so over the top proud of it.
It's gorgeous. Tell me about the cover art.
So the cover art was done by Hoverchair Studios. We worked with Hoverchair before on a different project, and we knew we wanted to get him back on to do this album cover because he just does really incredible work for all kinds of bands. He does a lot of posters, and he does some album covers, and so we had him on there, and we just kind of gave him a color scheme and the album. We were like, here, listen to it. Here's a color scheme. Do what you think fits. And
look, we had the book idea came from Anthony, and it was just random. You want to talk about that really quick, just because that's kind of where it started, was with the book.
Sure. I mean, well, we all had ideas for the album, really, and we were just discussing what we wanted to do as far as what the cover looked like. And for some reason, as soon as Kat suggested the title, The Great American Struggle, I think it was you who brought it up, yeah. I don't know why, I envisioned a cover of the book or the cover of the album that was just like an open book, because that's kind of, it goes along with the lyrics, like, all of Broken Robots' lyrics are an open book of their lives, and so I just imagine just like an open book, and we have a couple circles on there because the opening track is called Circles, and I think we all had different ideas, and these guys made a list, and we sent it over, and then, this is what we got. I love it.
Very
That was
cryptic.
like the first take, like the first thing we got, wasn't it?
And it was
he was like, here's like a rough idea, and he sent like basically how it is, like, but a little rougher. He's like, what do you guys think of this? And I'm like, this is great. And I showed it to everybody, and everybody was like, this is awesome. So we stuck with it.
Shout out Dave Karen, Hovershare Studios.
It has a Beach Boys vibe, in my opinion.
It totally does.
Yeah, so I'm very proud of that. I love that. I'm cool with that. I'm very cool with that.
It should be mentioned that the honorary extra member of Broken Robots is here. I may need to include him in the video. That is Benji the dog,
Benji.
who's my new best friend. Yeah. And in fact, I don't want to go back to the car after this. I just want to go to people's houses to play with their dogs. Like, that just makes this so much better. I mean, I love Broken Robots, but you add a dog to it, and it's like...
And, this is where the album was recorded. You're sitting...
I was going to ask.
Yeah.
So we're in your literal home studio. This is it. I mean, right around the corner is where you do living stuff.
But the kitchen is 6 feet away.
The kitchen is 6 feet away. We're in the studio. All your gear is sitting in front of me. Behind me is where you mix the record.
Yeah.
And this was all you, Tony. You recorded and mixed everything, didn't you?
Yeah, I engineered it. I recorded everything. Anthony recorded some of the drums at his place and then would send them over. But for the most part, I would say, everything was pretty much recorded here and mixed here. And, that's just, it's kind of my like mad scientist little, my cave, my safe place.
DIY to the core.
I don't know how you can get more DIY than this. Like, seriously, like and I'm very proud of that, and, we're pretty dedicated, where it's like a living room or studio. Let's just go with a studio. No living room. So our bedrooms are upstairs and kitchen's right there and studio's right here.
So how long did it take to, how long have these songs been germinating? How long did it take to write these songs?
So it's so for the most part, I would say about a year. There was one song, What You Wanted, that started off like many years ago, like probably 3 years ago. And we kind of shelved it for a while. And then after we started working on this album, we're like, this song would fit in here really well. So we kind of brought that one back to life and re-recorded it and everything. And Circles started, gosh, when did we start that? Like
2.5 probably.
Yeah, like 2.5 years ago. And we finished the album last September. So it's been done for about a year. So I'd say, about a year and a half.
We definitely took our time on this one, and we had a situation where a member left, and that's kind of where we really dug in and it got kicked off, and like the album really started going from there. We were at a different location actually just for a couple months, and one member left, and Anthony came in, and that was actually the song that Anthony has the majority to do with Again and Again on the record.
Released the other day.
Yeah, and we just released that on Monday. And, he put down the piano parts, the melodies right there and then, and we just kind of went from there, and we just haven't looked back since then. It's just been grind. It's just been nonstop. And,
well, I want to dig into the songs on this album because I said it. I believe this is true. I think this is the best stuff you've done. Before we dig in, Tony, I have to ask about your health. I know you haven't had the easiest time over the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's been really rough. The last year and a half has been the biggest, trying times for Kat and I, no doubt. I woke up one morning, and this correlates to a song on the record, the Needle, the Thread, and the Hospital Bed. We can get more into detail on that in a minute, but that song is really about the events that led up, and when I found out that I had cancer.
Wait, sorry, I've got to interrupt. I got to move the phone because Benji keeps like walking over it or breathing on it, and he changes. Like I'm scared to see the video because he keeps changing what is in the frame. So it may just be our feet. I don't know if it's all of us. So I usually like to monitor it, but I'm just gonna trust, let go, let God. Here we go. I think we're fine.
He just wants to be.
I do have like a tripod. It's in my car though.
It's too late. But so if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook and the video doesn't make sense, blame the dog.
It's the dog's fault. It always is.
And of course, I interrupt as you're talking about cancer.
Yeah, so cancer, schmancer, whatever.
All right. So sorry, you woke up one morning.
Yeah, I woke up one morning, and I'll get right into how it ties into that song. I woke up one morning, and my side hurt so bad. Kat had gone through some mental health issues. She had a nervous breakdown, and she was out for about 3 days at a facility just trying to get her bearings and stuff like that. And I was here at the house. I woke up. The Sunday I was supposed to go pick her up, and I could barely get out of bed. My side hurt so bad. I called her and told her, I'm like, I don't even know if I can drive. She's like, oh my God, well, please try.
Yeah.
Because I want to leave this facility. And I said, okay. So I made it out there.
I did tell you to go to the hospital first, and you were like, I don't want to.
Well, yeah. So I drove out to McHenry where she was, and we switched spots. I gave her the car. I went into the emergency room, and they said if I had waited another 6 to 8 hours, I would have been a goner. My appendix was rupturing. My appendix was in the middle of rupturing, and it was inflated, and they took me in. They took my appendix right out immediately, and I thought I had gas.
Yeah.
But so a couple of weeks went by after that. I was recovering here at home, and I got the phone call. They said, hey, we did tests on that appendix, and it was covered in cancer, and it was pushing up against part of your colon and yada, yada. So you're going to need to come back in. We want to take a little piece of your colon out that it was rubbing up against. I said, okay. So I went back in, and this was last year. And
when this happens, you don't have time to think about it. It's just, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And, what led up to Kat having some mental issues, I woke up one morning. It's kind of like pretty intense here. I woke up one morning from a fever dream, and it turned into like a lucid dream where I knew I was dreaming. And that's a lot of the stuff in that song lyrically you're going to hear about. In my dream, I was relapsing. I went down to get a fix, and then I saw the dog, and I picked up the dog and walked the dog back home, and all the walls were made of cardboard, and they started melting. And then I went into the house, and my dad was there, my late dad, and he knew that I was dreaming. He's like, you're dreaming right now. And I was like, oh, and I got really excited because it was my dad. And he goes, hey, like, no sudden movements, just breathe, take it easy, and then you can spend some more time here in the dream. And I was like, all right, this is kick ass, And I slowly woke up from that, and I was sweating, and Kat was like, what's up, and I started, and she never writes down my dreams, but she pulled out a pad paper immediately and started writing down the dream as I was describing it before it faded away. And that whole first verse is that dream. And the second verse in that song is her struggle when, she was having those mental health issues, and it kind of set her off. She kind of felt like something was really wrong. We couldn't figure out what it was, and it turned out I had cancer. So I went out, and they took out my appendix, and I got the news that it was full of cancer. I had to go in for another surgery. And they took out a piece of my colon intestine, and I had horrible complications. Everything started turning inside out on itself, and I wound up being in the hospital for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, and it was the worst time of my entire life, honestly.
Sure.
And
you've been through some shit.
I've been through some shit. I've been around, and that was the worst by far, easily. So, and when I got out of there, I came home, and we were like, we got to finish the song because, it's like, don't stop working on music. So, and that's when she worked on the second verse, and I hate talking for you like this, but, that's where that song came from. That was, I think like the last song we recorded, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's where that song came from, the health issues. And as of right now, they found a little spot on my liver. So it moved on to my liver a little bit. It's real small, but I am doing treatments right now for it every other week. And I feel good, it's like, I don't, so.
If you didn't tell anyone, they would just,
right?
They would never know.
Yeah. I mean, I have all my energy, my appetite. I mean, so, we're going to fight this son of a bitch. We're not even, my last.
If I've learned anything about you, Tony, you are resilient.
Yeah. Thank you.
And you got this.
Yeah. I think
most resilient guy I know.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate.
He's kicking cancer's ass right now.
Yeah. I'm trying. It's a meanie.
Tony will sometimes, like, we practice and we'll do like rehearsals and stuff, and Tony will have literally a chemo on him while he's playing guitar, like a pack, like in a fanny pack. Yeah.
Well, that's the good thing about cancer. They give you a free fanny pack. You get to keep it.
I mean,
every other week. So I have like 10 fanny packs at this point.
Worth it.
But I know.
But I think there's a good lesson or inspiration here. Like, you're dealing with some of the worst shit you've ever dealt with, but you still make time for what matters to your soul.
Well, it goes back to that first record. It's kind of like cliche and everything. Music saved our lives. It keeps doing it over and over and over again. Like if Kat and I didn't have this art and to go back and to be able to write, then we would really be in big, big trouble. That would be really, really bad. She's like, we're crazy because there's no finish line. She's like, that you have to be insane to do this because the chances of getting real rewards and being like successful are pretty nil. You got to just love writing music. You got to really love.
Dude, this is success right here.
Yeah, well, I think so. I mean, I really do though. I was been looking forward to this interview for since we talked. But yeah. So the music once again comes back around and sustains us. And yeah, I think this record in general is the most vulnerable we've ever been. We've gotten back to the vulnerability like we were on our first record. Well, and then this time with some amazing players, and everybody's contribution is just top shelf. And it's just like we're just hitting on all cylinders emotionally. And, what this band really represents and what it means, it's way more than just music. It's really special, and it's really happening with everybody in the band. So it's really exciting right now.
That's been a huge thing for me too. Since I joined the band, I have come from similar struggles with, drugs and like the traps and trappings of the city and whatnot. And, I've always said the same thing. It's like, it is a cliche to say music saved my life, but like it really did. Like I've been clean a long time. And it's like, my life is going better than ever. And like, I love being an open book with this band. It's like, this record is really raw and vulnerable, and like, there's something special and almost like, dare I say, magical about it. But it's because of that raw realness that like we all come from a place like a similar, struggle in that regard. And like we've played some like overdose awareness benefits, and those were like really heavy. And like I remember playing Max Happy Fest, like it was like 2 weeks, maybe not even a full 2 weeks since Tony got out of cancer surgery.
He's like 135 pounds soaking wet.
Emaciated, like freshly healing and recovering. The scar was still really gnarly. We played an hour set in the pouring rain.
Everybody's like, we can not do this. I'm like, no, we're
doing it.
We're going. Let's go.
I was in tears. I was crying happy tears because I'm like, this is insane. Like
It was wild.
He almost died, and he just got out of surgery and is like up here making music with us right now. Like this is so inspiring. It's ridiculous.
No matter what life throws at you, you gotta stick to what keeps you moving.
Amen.
I love that. And you've always been transparent. Your history, your pre-band history, it's been an open book. And I know that's part of your art and that's part of who you are. Does it ever seem too vulnerable to let strangers into that?
No, not even a little bit. I wish I could share more. That's, the two records after Home Is Not a Place, something was missing, and I could never put my finger on it. And it was the honesty. It was the vulnerability. Those songs, they're on, the Escape Artists in season 3. They're great songs. I'm very proud of them. They're slick. They're polished. They're very cool. But something was going on, and we weren't being as vulnerable as we could be. And on this record, we came back. It came full circle, and we were like, here it is. Like, and no, I wish I could be even more honest if it was possible. It's like, that's the whole point.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's dig into the songs. If I were to pick up on some themes, or maybe I'm reaching too far on this, becoming who you're supposed to be, not who people want you to be. I get that in at least a couple songs.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's, the past few years of my life have just been really strange. And I think part of the journey of like pulling yourself out of the gutter is turning back around and going to everybody that never thought you were good enough and saying, look, now I'm good enough. See, look, let me prove to you how much I am good enough. And let me do as much as I can to show you that I'm good enough. And to a lot of people, like, you're never really going to be good enough. And I learned that. And learning that is one of the most heartbreaking, but also freeing things in the world. And I think writing about it really helped me heal from trying to prove to everybody that I was good enough.
So we're talking about the song Potential, I think, mostly here. These people want to keep me small, and they get mad if I stand taller, because that's not what they think I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of pressure on me the past few years to change what I was doing, or and I used to listen to all those voices, all those people. I would listen to them, and I started slowly, I think 2020 was a weird time for me. 2020, I mean, for everybody, but 2020 to like 2023 was just a really strange time for me, where I felt like I was building myself and then letting other people break me down and try to tell me like I would be happier if I wasn't who I was, and just losing myself. I went through a period I lost my entire identity. It was very strange, and coming back to it now, like it's better. Like, if being good enough is in the eye of the beholder, like you can only be good enough for you. Like, being good enough for other people never leads to anything.
Never.
So on that song, is that the whole band doing backup vocals?
Well, here, okay, as a in a production standpoint, kind of. Kat, that song was when Kat wrote that song, Kat took the reins on that one. I was at work and she sent me a video of her just sitting right here on the floor playing that. And I was like, oh, and as a producer, I wanted to get right in and change things. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, this is great. And just like, let her have the reins on this. When we tracked the drums, Anthony was right there, right where the camera is. And Kat had everyone put on headphones here, and she had a microphone, and she was just screaming those words to get the dynamics of that song to really be real. So you could hear like a woo in that song, and that's actually Anthony just lost it. He just did a woo in the middle of it, and
that's in Going Places. Going Places, I do the woo. The other woo, the woo in Potential that was you guys. You guys playing that out.
It might have been even me at the desk.
Yeah,
just like, woo, yeah. So it was so raw. It was like, and you can feel the dynamics in that. And it was kind of nice seeing Kat just kind of orchestrate it, like as it was going. It was just really like dirty and just loud and awesome. And I could tell like there was like something coming out of Kat at that time, kind of like a exorcism almost.
I think the backup vocals are just me and you, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we do that a lot in our stuff where it's just Tony and I will just do 100 of ourselves.
I love it. Well, staying on that theme, the topic that we're on here, what you wanted seems like another side of that coin, the life you're supposed to live.
Oh yeah, that was what you wanted. It's like we wrote that, the lyrics at least, like the music instrumentation behind it is fresher, but the bones of it was written some years ago, and that was inspired by the time where the place I was in when I met Tony, because I was in a very similar place where it was like everybody in my life had convinced me like, don't do that or don't do this, like you're never going to be happy if you do that, like this is what life is supposed to be like, get us this type of job and this type of life, and if you check all of these check marks, then you will be happy at the end, you'll be good at life. And I'm like, okay, so I tried to do that and I was so incredibly miserable.
I get it.
Yeah, like just just bad place. And of course the reality is important. You can't live in a fantasy land, so you have to stay rooted in reality, but at the same time, like making your whole life about checking boxes so that other people approve is just bad move.
Well, I'll tell you, the first time I heard this song all the way through, as you're describing this life that people set out to have, it reminded me in the best way of things I liked about the Kinks and Blur, who both had lyrically the ability to kind of strip away just the bullshit and mundane existence of the person next door's existence. It felt like you were doing the same thing.
Oh yeah, everything in that song, it comes from a place of experience. It's very real. A lot of the stuff on this album is a lot less fantastical lyrically and a lot more like real, like grounded struggle.
I think we've written so much stuff that it can get confusing. That riff was actually written, I think, back in like Home Is Not a Place days, like back in 2018 even, like, and it was kind of sitting around, and it wasn't. And I remember trying to bring it up, during the second and third record, and it just wasn't cool enough, kind of thing. It wasn't, so it just kind of got forgotten about. But Kat and I never forgot about it, and it was like, so we brought it back out, and I think that's kind of, and so there's like, there was some like past to that melody, some like something in there,
I think we even maybe re-recorded that song like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, we kept trying to make it. Yeah.
Staying on the topic of the guitar, Sweet Escape has this really great rhythm guitar groove. This to me feels like a really ambitious song in the sense that it feels like if you strip away the vocals, it feels like a Talking Heads song to me.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. That's awesome. So where that came from, we were in the middle of practice right here, and I accidentally turned on my delay on the wrong setting and hit a couple chords, and I'm like, oh, that's a song. Like, that's going to be awesome. And I took out my phone and put it here, and we all just jammed it out for 2 minutes, just that opening riff with that eighth note delay kind of thing happening. And I could see the finish line immediately in my head. And I'm very proud of that song production wise, because there's like some glitchiness that I went over the top on, some wub wub, I guess they call it, like wub 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 stuff. I'm not too hip. I think that's what the kids call it, wubbing or wub wub. But I did a wub. I did my first wub, James.
I'm so glad.
And I'm really proud of you.
Wub.
And Tony,
Never forget your first wub.
And I'm really proud of it. And it goes from this slick, like dancey kind of thing to this like psychedelic.
Yeah, it goes from like chic, like Nile Rodgers type of vibe.
Yeah, thank you, man. That's great. Yeah. So I would say that had the most like Tony Baker kind of like production, stuff in it. So yeah, I'm really proud of that one personally.
And
I was begging him for wubs for a while.
Yeah.
I was like, can we do one song with wubs, just please?
More importantly, the people demand more wubs.
I know. I'll try and bring some more wubs.
That's what the audience wants. A lot of the funk and groove feel that I like on that song, I also hear on Bad Side.
That's this man over here. This guy, Elix. I'll pass it off to you. But when we did Bad Side, the original guitar riff, I had written a long time ago, and I had a completely different direction in my head. I thought the song was going to go. And then Alex came in. He just kicked the door open, and he's like, give me the bass guitar. Basically, he sat down for like 5 or 6 hours and just destroyed that song and turned it into what it kind of is in my opinion. Alex, you want to talk about it?
Shucks. Yeah, I heard that guitar riff that they had on there. He was like playing like a demo for me. I was like, oh, yes. Because I am very, very influenced by like James Jamerson and Bob Babbitt, like the Motown session players, very influenced by funk and soul music, as well as like, jazz fusion, and like my roots are in rock and roll, like punk rock, metal, stuff like that. And I was like, this is crazy that this is like a Broken Robot song. So I just like leaned all the way into that funky nature and was just like, all right, let's see where this goes. And it's like, the dynamic on this, like going from that song to a song like Potential or like Needle and Thread and stuff like that, it's like, it's insane how much variety there is. And I'm like, I am so here for this, like so here for like the no rules, no holds barred. Like, let's just go with what feels right. And that definitely felt right playing that song. So, and the lyrical content is amazing. It's like for all the door guys and sound people and, production side and like people like you podcasters and, people that work behind the scenes, as our buddy Steiner puts it, the secondhand talent. Little
Wait, the secondhand talent?
Yeah.
So are all of us.
Yeah, same. Like, we all do that for a living. So it's like, that's one for our colleagues, and I've never heard a song other than We Are the Road Crew by Motorhead. I've never heard a song for the people making shit happen.
I think Jackson Browne has a song like that. I could be wrong. I think I prefer like adjacent to secondhand.
Adjacent,
yeah. Say I feel thrifted.
Right. Well, that's just the name
do
of a buddy of mine does a podcast, and he interviews all the people that make things happen. Like, they're people that really make this all happen. It's not the bands. It's not the bands. It's the people behind the scenes.
For sure. Yeah. And that song, I feel like that song in the album is like an intermission too. It's like all of a sudden it goes like really intense emotional content, and then it's like, here's our silly song with the funk,
I'm glad you said it. I bring this up a lot. I'm a big fan of album sequencing and a thoughtful journey from start to finish. I know, Tony.
Yeah. Oh man.
I am too.
Yeah. So when that happened, the sequencing, I wrote it out one day and it came very quick. And I wanted, like, the biggest challenge of this record actually became, oh my God, how the hell are we going to make this cohesive? That really became the biggest challenge. And
especially when you think in terms of, we're going to commemorate this to vinyl. It's not something people will necessarily listen to a la carte in a stream. They're going to be listening as a full artistic package.
And I went really hard with that, in my head, thinking like everyone that listens to this record is going to listen to it from the very beginning to the very end. That there is no other way to do it. So I wrote all the songs out. I had them, and I wrote out a sequencing list for it in like 15 minutes, and then I went old school and put it on a CD. And did it, I ran out to the car and listened to it, and I'm like, and usually I'm kind of used to Kat being like, but she was like, I think that's it, man. That's like really good. And then originally Mad But Nice was 3. on the sequencing. So there's some serendipity here because now that I was going to vinyl, I had to make sure I had 20 and 20 on each side. So I had to move one thing around. And I wanted like the neo, like folky kind of stuff to only be on the second half of the record at first, I thought. And I'm like, and then because of the sequence, the timing in the vinyl, I brought the needle and the thread all the way up to number 3. So you get a kind of a taste of that early on, and then Mad But Nice went deeper in the roster, and I think it turned out great, and I think that it's very cohesive. I'm really proud of that.
Circles is such an obvious single. I got a lot on my mind, and I'm busy all the time, but I know so is everybody else. Tell me about that song, because I mean, it's so, that to me is the instant attention grabber on the album.
That song was so, again, like just very emotional lyrically. It started off with a guitar part that Tony wrote, and I was like, please, can I just take this like and loop it and just let me write a thing over it, and like I will come up with like a chorus guitar part. Can I please have it? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, please just let me have it. And so he let me have it, and I had a lot of fun like with that really smooth vibe and using that to kind of carry a message of like, you know, relationship insecurity, like a lot of that kind of stuff that I had to break out of as a person in a long-term relationship that kind of was carried on to me from like my mother and my mother's before, you know, this intense paranoia and control issues. And I think that song, for me, it was really painful to actually write it and say it out loud. But then after I did it, I'm a changed person. It was crazy. It was like therapy.
Awesome. Now, okay, so for Elix, Anthony, and Ari, who are the newest additions to Broken Robots, what's it been like kind of getting on board with this band, this project, this album?
I love it. I've been here for about 4 years now, and it's the longest running band that probably tied with the longest running band that I've been in, but it's going to beat it for sure. And yeah, it's just amazing. You know, I love just like their story, their message, the backgrounds. I can relate a lot with the history as well. Not as intense as your guys' history, but you know, I had found Broken Robots through an article back in the day, and yeah, just the story. It resonated with me. It hit very close to home for me. I grew up in an area where there was a lot of drugs and a lot of bad decisions from the youth. And, you know, before I knew it, I saw a lot of circles that I was acquainted with, you know, getting smaller and smaller, and people were just disappearing. And, you know, when I heard their story, I thought it was so inspirational. I needed to reach out right away. And I did. And I've been here ever since. And this album coming out is the #1 best body of work I've ever been a part of. I'm so proud of it. And I'm, you know, proud of them as people, and to see like their personal growth, and just, you know, seeing, you know, they wanted to move to the city, and now we're in the city, and they have a house as a recording studio. Like, you know, I'm so proud of them. I'm proud of the band. I'm proud of the group. And I'm super, super happy to be here. You know,
glad to have you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was a fan of Broken Robots before I joined. I remember seeing them at Martyrs, one of my favorite venues, and like I've known Anthony for some time, and he hit me up about it was a fill-in gig. They had a summer camp on the road show that they needed a bass player for. So I was like, yeah, I'm down. I learned their songs, and then after the show, like I guess the process of me learning the songs in a timely manner and like doing it like the way they had it, and not like trying to be like changing things or anything. It's just like a job, you know. It's like, hey, it's a gig, whatever. But then they asked me to join, and it's been really cathartic, you know. And I was born and raised in the city. I've lived out here my whole life, so I was very acquainted to like all those similar struggles, but realized it was abroad. And like, you know, shout out to all the people out there that are doing the harm reduction and the outreach and stuff, like Warp Corpse and Live for Lolly and people like this, because
shout out.
That is huge and an immense part. Like, you know, we got to stop stigmatizing this stuff and being like, hey, this is real. Like, what are we going to do about it? These are our friends, our brothers, our sisters, our sons, and our daughters. Like, you know, but yeah, joining this band has been a blessing. It's been like, I agree. I'm also super proud of my bandmates, just like what they're doing in life and like this record. I feel it's definitely like the culmination of like all the years of committing to music and making all the sacrifices for years and years for all of us, you know. And we found, we were talking about like, oh, you know, it'd be cool to get a keyboardist in the mix. And Audie here and I are in another band called Earth Radio. And I was like, I got just the guy. He lives right down the road. And he is like one of the funkiest and smoothest keyboarders players I know. So I'm going to pass the mic to him and let him introduce himself.
Real quick though, the band, just the way that the band has changed for the better since Audie joined is insane.
I've been saying Ari. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. It's a tough one. Yeah, it's weird. Pronounce Oddy.
I wrote it down wrong. I'm sorry.
No, it's
It's a
spelled.
for-
It's,
No, that's how it's
Nickname.
spelled.
Oh, it is?
yeah, it's
It's a Lithuanian thing.
So my real name is Audus Augustinitis, but Oddy's been, like I said, the formal nickname.
Okay.
Just to make things more
Please know that
more
I regret any error. And there's,
Oh no, it's fine. I'm used to it. No, like I said, it's to make it builds character. I think growing up 33 years and still, going through
builds
introductions. But no, carry off of what Alex was saying. I'm super proud of you guys. I'm the baby of the band. Like
It's
just
true.
formally joined a couple of months ago. I know we touched on Needle and Thread already, but the other week we were talking about like how cosmically how that all kind of came about, like the meeting behind the song, and then that's actually the only song that I actually recorded on the album. So again, I feel lucky enough to kind of just be a part of it right now because all the effort and how great this album sounds. I would listen to Circles and some of the tunes again before even coming over here, and I'm like, they're in the back of my head going to bed and like a mantra. But now, like I said, to his point, again, like cathartic, I feel like I've known you guys for a lot longer than it really has. I've known Alex for a few years, but it's been new relationships with you guys. But again, it feels a lot longer than that. And
It
jamming
does,
here,
doesn't
getting
it?
together. I live right down the block. This is great to be able to do this. Can't wait.
I think I'm parked in front of your place.
It was super.
Yeah.
It was supernatural. You joining the band too. Like it felt like you've been in the band already. That's one thing about this group is these are all some of my best friends right here, and
Straight
it's
up
like
step.
whenever like if any of us are having like a bad day, we post it in our group chat
Yeah.
and we talk
Straight
about
up.
it, and it's like
Straight up.
we're all we all help each other out, and it's I don't know. I love what we have going.
Something that really needed to happen so bad was for us to get off of like using backing tracks and a metronome, because we had to do what we had to do to make all the sounds, and it started out with a 3-piece band, then became a 4-piece band. Now we're a 5-piece band. And Kat said it like, it just all came together now. It's like, we're off tracks. We're no metronome. We're just an organic band. And it feels so good to just be this organic thing happening with, no outside elements.
And I hope I can, again, lend to the body of work and kind of add my own, feeling to it without besmirching.
Oh, we all can't wait to write with you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I
so much. I'm already
just totally interrupted.
said-
but-
I'm already excited to write the next.
Can't wait
one.
for winter. Can't wait.
Yeah, winter is when we write.
It's woodshedding time in Chicago. Yeah. Okay. There is a record release show for this record that is on the 12th.
September 12th. September 12th, yes, at Live Wire Lounge in Chicago.
Live Wire Lounge.
The crown jewel of the Avondale live event scene.
Only 100 tickets, and we will have these vinyls. We'll be there. Only less than 100 vinyls left.
Wow.
Yeah. And 99. 'Cause So yeah, there's a ticket link for the show. I recommend getting tickets as soon as you can. It's going to be a blast. We're playing the whole record from beginning to end.
Great.
So yeah.
Our good friend Sun Volume, also from Chicago, are joining us,
Yeah.
opening off the show.
Yep.
Great guys. Great
As
band.
the kids say, Broken Robots, just 10 bangers on here.
That's what.
Oh, that's what they
That's
say.
because there's wubs on there.
That's right.
Wubs.
It's basic calculus. Multiple wubs equals 10 bangers. Yeah.
If you look on the cover art of the record right here, that is actually the calculus formula for the wubs.
Yeah.
It's right there. Oh, yeah,
I was
they're-
wondering where
yeah.
you're going to go with that.
Well done.
Yeah, they're
Well done.
characters. Yeah. Okay. First and foremost, I know you've been through some shit. You've been through more shit after that. You stay healthy. You got this. We're all behind you. Kat, that goes for you too. Mental health is important too.
Oh yeah. No, my mental health is number one. I focus every day on getting sleep and eating healthy food and making sure I get exercise and doing music And that's all the most important thing. It's like the food too, eating healthy. I think like that's some people even said they're like, Tony looks better now than he has in like a couple years.
Another thing though, Kat, that you've done is you've gotten all the assholes out of your life. I'm sorry to say it.
It helps. It helps you glow. There's a glow that happens when you
have an assholectomy.
Yeah, literally. I had that procedure done a couple years ago. I feel great. I highly recommend it.
Liberating. I love you guys. Congratulations on this. This really is an achievement. Tony, I'm sure I can't even imagine the after hours work you put in to
a couple 2-3 minutes.
A couple 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. Hey,
congratulations, guys. We'll see you on the 12th. And thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.